Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Check the From the Shore to Be More show. Coming through strong with that podcast flow. Sunday afternoon at 2 to 3 p.m. slot. Got the Interstate 95 Turnpike hot. When you tune in, they don't just entertain. They come with the message that presses the brain. Those other podcasts, they seem microscopic. Cause they're the big dogs that drop the hot topics. So sure, be more dumb. You just stay ready for DJ Boom, Shaheem, and on Demi. Put them together, there's a treacherous string. From the tri-state area to the DMV. So sit back, relax, get your Sundays on. On after morning, gone before dawn. That positive vibe that we hitting so strong. With this podcast show, you can't go wrong. So, here we go, here we go. 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 What's up, everybody? And welcome back to the special episode of From the Shore to Be More. I, of course, am one of your hosts, the one, the only Shaheem. Let's go.
And I am another of your hosts. I am Deborah Singletary, a.k.a. Aunt Debbie.
Yes, he is. Woof, 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 woof.
You flatter me.
I try to. And usually, you all know we're here with our partner in crime, DJ Boom. Hopefully, he'll be joining us shortly. And we are the treacherous three of the tri-state area and the DMV. And welcome back for another episode, everyone. Like I said, it is a special episode because it is a special day, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there and everyone celebrating the day today. I know today is going to be tough. Recognize the fact that today is going to be tough for some of us, including myself, ladies and gentlemen, because for those who follow the show, you all know that I recently lost my mother, as you all know. And so today marks the beginning, and I think on W pointed this out, of many firsts, not just for me, but for me and my family, my siblings, the grandchildren, and my whole family. And what we mean is, this is the very first Mother's Day that I'll be celebrating without my mom. And there'll be a long list, I'm sure, as the year goes on, of holidays that will follow. I'm not going to get into all that right now, and I will later on in the show, everyone, but we want to recognize, of course, on Debbie, right on Debbie? Those out there. I'm sorry, go ahead on Debbie.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
We want to recognize those out there who are also celebrating today, but whose mothers are not in their physical forms. Right on Debbie?
I love the way you put that, because in many ways, our mothers who are deceased, or fathers or aunties or friends, are closer to us than ever. So we need to learn to open up in a different way. We don't have to pick up the phone. We can just talk.
Well said. So again, happy Mother's Day, everybody out there. And let's start. We got a great topic for you guys today, right on Debbie?
Yes, and it has to do with the arts. I forget what the exact title is. You're so fancy. But I want to observe that while talking about Mother's Day, you are using the art of music to illustrate and underscore the day. I always love my mama.
Everybody knows this song, right? I will always love my mother too, and that's for
Yeah.
sure, just like everybody out there.
Yeah.
Today's topic is soul and structure, art's role and impact on society. So that's why Debbie was saying it was artful of me to use this particular song, right, Debbie?
That's what I was trying to say.
That's what
And
you was trying to say.
for Ty, it's the first Mother's Day without his grandmother.
Yes, it is.
And so I am thinking of you too, Ty.
Yes,
And also I am thinking of my nephew, Boom, who was a gift to me personally, but also a gift to the world via Darlene Avis Singletary. And so happy Mother's Day to her, because her mothering has made my life rich and fulfilling. And I am really grateful to her and my sisters and my brothers for the riches that they've given me by being the vessels for such an amazing, talented, annoying, difficult sometimes, artistic, and that's how we like them. Don't change a thing.
All right now. Hey, DJ Boom joins us.
No, that's right.
Is in the building. What's up, cuz?
What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, DJ Boom, here making it do what it do each and every Sunday, right along with these two. What is happening, everybody?
All right.
You know what I mean?
Now, I have to assume that it is a holiday, and so it's a busy day for yourself, is it not?
Well, I have to work this evening. I did a ceremony of love yesterday.
That's interesting.
Which was so they got married on Thursday. So we did the wedding on Thursday, and then they did a ceremony of love yesterday.
Okay.
And it almost brought me to tears. It made me super emotional. I think these days, the fact that I'm getting older, I'm just getting more emotional with stuff. Because, I got so many people trying to make me look like a bad guy. And then these folks tell their story about how they decided, first they were going to elope. Then the one girl said, let's get married. She wanted to get married. And so they agreed to get married. And in unison, they was like, well, we only want one person to DJ. And that was me. And they know a ton of DJs. So that made me slightly emotional. Made me feel good, though. Make me feel like I'm doing something right.
Oh, you're doing a lot right. And even if you do something that is a little, that where we go, what, that raises our consciousness, that raises our awareness. So you only need to be you. You don't need to be right. You don't need to be good. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be you and give us the opportunity to interact with you. So you can't make a mistake even when you do.
Wow, there it is. All right.
Even if you do, you can't make a mistake. Right. You all right.
Well, you're definitely all right by us, and we're definitely glad, right, that you're joining us today for today's show. Right? Soul and structure, arts and role and impact on society. We're going to get all of that. Before we do, let me just remind you that you can watch last week's episode on trust, which was a great conversation between us. And thanks for everybody for commenting on that show. You can go catch it on our YouTube channel, everyone. Tell a friend. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get those numbers up. Hello to everybody on Facebook. Thanks for all of your support. I want to say I have noticed that we receive comments sometimes after the show. I'm assuming from people who might be watching the show later than Sunday. Keep commenting, everyone. What I will start doing is I will start writing down those comments, taking down those comments, and I will bring them up the following Sunday. So I want to encourage everyone to not just comment during the show, but even if you catch the show afterwards, comment on the show, and I will make sure that I read your comments on the following Sunday. How about that, guys?
I like it.
I think that's a fantastic idea, and I think our fans will appreciate it before we jump into everything. And we will be jumping into everything shortly, everybody. I just want to say congratulations to the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. They look like they are about to sweep the Philadelphia 76ers. Game 4 is today. Thank you, Junior. Junior's always right on time. I'm going to shout out to him in 1 second. Shout out to the Knicks again. Game 4 is today at 3 o'clock, and I will be watching it as soon as I get back from visiting my mom at the cemetery. Everyone, I will catch the game, but shout out to them for sure. And to my sister, don't spoil the game and tell me everything before I can actually watch it. I know you're excited too. We'll get to all of that, all right? Also, like I said, I want to shout out our engineer, my partner in crime, my son, Junior. I have got to recognize him for all his hard work and letting everyone know that my son, Junior, has his own thing going on also on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. And you can find him at Otaku Everything, everyone. And that's at Anime Cannibal, again, on YouTube. So if you want to find out or talk about anime or gaming of any kind, you can reach him on YouTube at Anime Cannibal. Right, Junior?
Yep.
There you go, everybody. That's for that. So go check them out. I also want to say congratulations. I should have put a picture up, but I didn't have a chance to prepare before the show. There was a lot going on. Hey, T, thanks. My wife is watching the show. She's visiting her mom right now, so they have it on at their house. Hey, Mom, happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to my wife, my mother, a long list of people, my sisters and everybody. Right. Yeah, I don't have my mom, but I'm lucky to have other quote-unquote mothers in my life, including my mom, Aunt Debbie, sitting right here. My other mom, my own Darlene. Happy Mother's Day. I'm not going to... We'll get into all that, but like I said, I should have a picture up, but congratulations, big congratulations to one of my nephews. My nephew, Baru Robertson Hornsby. And I'm saying congratulations to him because on Friday, he received his doctorate. So now he is, yeah, big round of applause, big round of applause. So now I have to call him Dr. Dr. Hornsby, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And it was so proud. We were so proud to see him as a young man of color, not just graduating college, which is a phenomenal feat in and of itself. Knowing the circumstances that so many of our young people go through and are coming from to graduate college, but to get his doctorate, everyone. So we wanted to say congratulations to him, right, Junior? For sure, and let him know how so very, very proud we are of him. How about that? We need more of that. We need more. So, right on, Debbie?
Yeah.
We absolutely do. All right, everyone. I don't want to hold the show up because we got more things to get to today. And so we are going to keep the ball rolling. Happy birthday to all of you bull-headed Tauruses out there. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking one day. Out there celebrating your birthday today, in the past week, or the upcoming week. We want to celebrate your birthdays with you guys. All right. So, on Debbie, let's start with you. You have anybody out there special whose birthday you want to recognize?
First, I want to say to all Taurians, happy birthday. And a lot of times we are silent and sweet and kind, and then somebody pushes us too far.
Uh-oh.
My God, and the bull comes out. I'm just warning y'all. So, but I particularly, since we're doing the arts today, want to recognize Jacqueline Johnson, who is a writer, poet, friend of mine, and Ramona Candy. And there are lots of them, but I didn't check. So I'll look on my Facebook and make sure I shout the rest of y'all out.
All right, Boom's not with us right now, everyone. I'm sure they'll thank you on Debbie. Boom's not with us right now. So I'm just going to get to the few birthdays that I have, and I don't have a lot. I first want to say happy birthday to my Aunt Darlene also along with Happy Mother's Day because yeah. I didn't,
Of course.
of course.
Who is also an artist.
Who is also an artist.
Yeah, she's a beautiful, thoughtful, soulful poet.
Yes,
in addition to she births poems.
All right. Yeah, she does. And again, big happy birthday to Aunt Darlene, who has been in my life like a second mom to me, everyone. And I saw all the posts on on Darlene. So I know that you enjoyed your day. And I'm happy to see that. Happy that you're here again for another year. Happy birthday, Aunt Darlene. That was first and foremost. Also, to fan of the show and someone who's been on the show before, Mr. Scotty McGowan, May 12th will be his birthday, and if he's watching, and I'm sure he'll catch the show. Happy birthday, Scotty! Thank you for all your contributions to the show. Keep on contributing to the show. Thank you. Excuse me, everyone. Also, I, myself, and my wife want to say happy birthday to her cousin, my cousin, Mrs. Venetia Sconyers Alston, and May 12th is also her birthday. So happy birthday to Venetia. Thank you. She's been so supportive to me throughout the years, and especially recently. Her and the entire family. So happy birthday, Venetia. I have a few celebs real quick, everyone, and we're going to keep this thing moving on. First, I want to say happy birthday to Funny Guy and one of my favorites, this guy here. Mr. Kenan Thompson, everyone. Saturday Night Live's own May 10th today. It's actually his birthday. So happy birthday, sir. Keep making us laugh. We definitely need it in today's times. Also, happy birthday to this funny person here, Kim Fields. Wow. Yeah, still going. Still going, everyone. And you catch her on Netflix. Happy birthday to Kim Fields. May 12th will be her birthday. Happy birthday. Hey, Boom's back with us. Hey, Boom. I'm just going to keep this one.
My phone overheated, and now I got it in front of the AC, so it should be okay.
Well, we hope so. You got to keep, the girls got to stop calling you and your phone will stop heating up. All right, I'm just going to a couple more real quick, and I want to keep it rolling, Boom. Hopefully you stick around for it. Craig Mack, one of my favorite and New York's own. May 10th today was his birthday. May 10th, 1970 to March 12th, 2018. Everyone, happy birthday in heaven to Craig Mack. And last, but certainly not least, happy birthday to this guy. Happy birthday to the one, the only, the phenomena himself, Stevie Wonder, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't know, you need to find out. One of the greatest to ever do it. Yes. Happy birthday to you, sir. May 13th, 1930 is his birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday to Stevie, right? What a powerhouse. Definitely. Now, to those who are having a celebration of any kind, there was a way you could add our 3 small businesses to it. And this is how you can do that. Hit it, Junior. Reach DJ Boom and Shush Entertainment at boomsquaddjs.com. 678-334-1745 for your next big event or karaoke night. And to attend the next Silent Fitness event, be sure to reach out to Shush Entertainment, a subsidiary of D3 Lux Entertainment. Before stepping out for the night, look for the latest in women's fashion at terryscloset.com. Step into Terry's Closet and step out in style. terryscloset.com, your closet's new best friend. And reach Deborah Singletary at visioncarriers@aol.com for astrology consultations, art workshops, wedding ceremonies, and rituals. Be sure to reach out to Vision Carriers at AOL.com, 212-234-1329. And listen, everyone, I know it doesn't necessarily feel like spring outside, but you can still look for our spring collection.
Because the spring is coming, y'all. It's coming.
Oh, well, it is definitely sprung spring down here in Baltimore.
Oh,
But I'm glad
good.
they have beautiful weather down there. We had a little rain earlier, but you can catch our spring collection on terracecloset.com. Despite it all, everyone, right? Right, Junior?
Absolutely.
While they're looking for that, we're gonna keep the ball. What, guys? Rolling along.
You know, I guess right now we should start the show.
Must see TV and movies, everyone. And if you're home spending some time with mom, it might be a good day to catch some movies. There's some good mom movies out there for you to catch. So let's start. On Debbie, why don't you go first? Anything good you've been watching?
I don't know if this is a good mom movie unless you want to scare the moms, but I watched Nature Boy on Hulu, and it's a documentary about a likely brilliant young man who wanted to entice people back to nature in the way that he saw us living with nature. And turns out it was a cult. And it was so interesting to see
Yeah, right.
intelligent people fall for it, primarily young people. So that was really
Wow.
so that was scary to know that people can be seduced into cults and giving up their families and giving up their money and giving up their bodies
Wow.
and their minds to Nature
Okay.
Boy,
That's a lot.
who is now in jail. Oops, I shouldn't have given it away. Go see it anyway.
Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. And now, Junior, I saw a look on your face when she said that. Do you think that'd be something we'll be catching?
That sounds like
yeah, it sounds like.
Definitely sounds like a no.
I might check it out though. But thanks, Debbie. I appreciate it. Now, Boom, you got anything you've been watching?
Yeah, well, I got a couple of things since I missed the last segment. I'm sure it was mentioned, but I still got to shout out my mom to celebrate her birthday on Friday. I can't skip that. I'll be in a lot of trouble trying to skip stuff like that. The Queen's #1. You know what I mean? She's celebrating hard in the paint. But I did watch a movie. It was in the theater not too long ago. It is now on Hulu, and it's called Send Help.
Send Help on Hulu.
Send Help. So the premise is a employee that gets bullied at work, and she ends up getting stranded on this island with the boss that was bullying her, and it goes from there. It's a great Sunday afternoon. I think it's a mama's movie. It's not necessarily a horror. They call it a comedy horror, but it's not. To me, it's more thriller than horror. I don't know. Whatever.
I'm going to take a shot in the wind here, and I'm going to say she killed him. It's probably what I would do with my boss. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, thanks, Boo. We appreciate that. And go check that out on Hulu. Hulu, you will now owe us a check. I got one, ladies and gentlemen. I just caught this, I think, yesterday with my wife, everyone. We were sitting around because we celebrated, actually, Mother's Day yesterday. I thought it was a great time to go to a restaurant. It was because nobody was there, and we had the whole restaurant to ourselves, and we had a great time. Shout out to my wife. And so we came home, and we saw this movie with Method Man in it called Bad Shabbat. And yes, it's about a Jewish family, actually, but Method Man is in it. And it's kind of a murder comedy thing, and it was kind of cool. My wife really enjoyed it, so since she enjoyed it, I guess I enjoyed it too, everybody. So it was a good time to sit around with your boo. All right, and catch a movie if you're doing that today. And if you want to catch a good mom's movie, I will always remember that the movie came out in the 90s. What was that? Remember the R&B song went to that. Boys II Men song went to that song, starring Vivica Fox and who else was in that movie? Do you remember that movie? It'll come to me later, but I know that'd be a great movie to sit around and watch, everyone. It'll come to me later, but I will come back and say it. But go check out Bad Shabbat, everybody. Come back, let us know what you thought about our choices, and we'll talk about all of that then, right, everybody? Absolutely. Right, Junior? Soul food!
Oh, boom. That's what I thought. I didn't trust myself.
You should have shot for it. Soul food, that's right. It was a great movie, and it was a great mom story, was it not? I think we can all.
Right.
All right,
It
everybody.
was a great movie.
It brings tears to your eyes for sure. For sure. For those out there watching the show, all of our fans, if you have a show topic that you think our audience will be interested in, or more importantly, if you're a business looking to support our program here, there are ways that you can contact us. This is how you can do that. Hit it, Junior. To contact us, you can reach us on our YouTube channel, where you can comment, join the show, and please don't forget to subscribe. You could also watch, like, and comment, join the show on our social media pages. Our Facebook or Instagram is at From the Shore to Be More. Our Twitter or X is at 2_BeMore. And our email is FromTheShoreToBeMore@gmail.com. You could also call the show at 732-455-2503. If no one answers, please leave a message and someone from the show will get back to you. And please, tell a friend. That's right, everybody. Please tell a friend. We are definitely here for you. And comment on the show. Again, if you catch the show later, love that movie. I know you did, Tara. We all did. The movie Soul Food. I'm sure she's talking about it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you catch the show later and leave a comment, I will make sure that I put your comments up the following week. All right, everybody, let's get into this topic. Soul and structure. By Junior's head. Now it's time for us to talk. Art's role and impact on society, ladies and gentlemen. Just before we started to head into the show today, Debbie and I were conversating a little bit about the topic. And we were saying how you can almost make one or two more shows out of this topic alone. That's because that's how big this conversation is. When you talk about art's role and impact on society. It doesn't matter whether you're white, black, red, brown, or which language you speak. Art in some way affects us all. Does it not, on Debbie, when you say that?
Well, I think there really wasn't a time when the arts weren't integral to our lives.
100%.
We even way before the cave drawings, but
yes.
So we want to acknowledge the evolution of the arts when art wasn't a separate category for entertainment or decoration. Now it's a little separated out, but even today, the arts are so wholly, completely integrated into our lives that it could almost seem to disappear.
100%. And I agree with you 100%, 1000%. Before we even had language, we had rhythm. Before we had rules, we had expression. So yeah, art was always there from the beginning. I mean, you could talk about the cave drawings that Neanderthals once left in caves, as far back as that, as a way of not only just depicting their days, but also as a way of communication. A way of communicating then amongst themselves, and a way of even communicating past time to us in the future. That's how big a role art has played in our society, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not recognized it. Right, on Debbie? Right, Boom?
I couldn't have said it better. I could have probably said it better, but you did a good job.
I tried. Thank you. I tried.
You know, I wasn't thinking of the art of comedy as I was preparing for this, but Boom just espoused the artfulness of being funny, and the way he is funny is unique to him. I could have said the same words but not pulled it off. So well done, Boom. Not only are you a DJ, but you're a comic.
Right. And we're going to talk
I'm a
about
constant creator. I'm a constant creator.
And that's what art's about, right? And we're going to talk about all those different forms of art. And I encourage people, and especially artists out there who are watching the show, who might catch a show, to comment on the show and talk about your particular forms of art.
And I'm going to jump to the end since you mentioned artists and include everybody as an artist. There is no way for us to get away from being artists. So for example, before the show, I was trying to put on some lipstick, and
Ah,
he was telling me how perfect I was without it. And I thought, I don't put on lipstick because I needed it. I put it on to express
express.
in a
I love
particular
that.
way. And I wore these earrings by Shimoda, an artist friend of mine.
Shout out.
The ring is by Ken Wright, and in collaboration with Mel.
Shout out.
My bracelet is by Linda Hewat. So when we get up in the morning and we get dressed, we are expressing
That's
ourselves
sweet
some
1,000%.
way. And I think of even fashion, shout out to Terry's Closet, as an
Thank you. I love that.
form.
Thank you. Well said, because fashion is a form of expression, including applying makeup. You are telling because let me put it like this. I think that art in some ways is a mirror, a reflection of who you are. And so when you talk about fashion, so much of your personality goes into what you choose to wear and how you choose to appear, how you
Yes,
look to the world,
yes.
tells your
And
story.
what makes it particularly important is glamour, which gets minimalized into something that women do, putting mascara on. The origin of glamour has to do with the way it affects the air. So that when you're getting
Wow.
ready to go to war, you're going to meet with another tribe. You put on your stuff.
Your war paint.
You put on your war paint,
The war paint.
because not only does it make you feel more something when the people look at you, they go, "Oh, I'm not gonna mess with that," or "Oh, I'm a little scared." And then so
Intimidation.
it's well, in other words, it changes the air. So the art isn't a commodity. So often we think of art as a commodity, of something that we buy, and this person is an artist and this person isn't an artist. The people who applied the war paint, they were artists on purpose, and they were, by their very delivery, they were changing the air, which is a way of saying changing the consciousness of the people around them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Art art can shape society in so many different ways. In sometimes political sense, in a political way, but not always, because politics gets too involved in art sometimes. What I mean is, society can shape art because society can sometimes just define what's accepted in society and what's not. Who gets funded as artists and who does not? Who gets celebrated for their particular art and who doesn't? So in some ways, society can have a negative impact just as much as a positive
Yeah,
impact
So
on
yeah.
art.
Artists
last
can be
couple
very elitist. Art can be very elitist. This person
It
is an
can
artist.
be.
This other person, boom,
That's what I was trying to say.
boom.
the last couple of weekends I was at the Fringe Festival, the Charm City Fringe Festival. I'm sorry, Fringe Festival.
Okay.
And so I didn't know until what that was. What is a fringe festival? You know. So it was someone's brilliant idea to give artists, dancers, singers, uh, uh, performing artists like actresses and actors a platform to show their different art. You know what I mean? Where so they had different rooms, and in each room, I was in one room. I had the silent disco and the karaoke going on. They had someone was putting on like a what do you call those? It's a play, but they call it something. But either way, they was putting on a quick little play. It wasn't a long, drawn out, 3 hour play. It's only like 50 minutes, but it was telling a story. One guy was singing, and he's
Okay.
a gay man, so he was singing his growing experience of being and discovering he's a gay man. So he was
Wow.
singing that,
Mm.
where
Tell
there
the
is
story.
not always a public platform,
Mm-hmm.
to even do something like that. So I was honored.
Mm.
Once I discovered what it was and what they were doing,
Mm-hmm.
I was honored to be a part of it. My social circle,
Well
if
said.
folks don't know, I have a plethora of gay women, gay men, straight women, straight men. Like I vibe with
Old
everybody, white women,
people,
white
young
men. Da da
people,
da.
OP.
You said what? What?
old people, young people.
The old people, young people. My social circle is so vast, it's crazy. So I was honored to be a part of that whole experience once I discovered what it was. So I'm bringing this up because of the art of it.
All right.
When in the norm, quote unquote, society, you wouldn't see it. That's why they call it fringe.
Mm. I'm
So,
glad you brought up something like that because I have some stories to talk about, let people know about, and this is going to talk about how society and art are intertwined. Now, in the tri-state area, especially in New York and New Jersey area, over decades, of time, you would see artists of all sorts seek out areas of blight only because, well, artists don't have a lot of money. So they have meager means. So they look for meager places. So you would find them finding warehouses and things of that nature, abandoned neighborhoods people don't really think about too much, where it was low rent. And they start to bring their art, and I'm talking about artists, poets, musicians, sculptors, artists of all time, and create communities around these blighted areas, these abandoned warehouses and things. And life starts to come back to these communities. It happened right here in my own town of Asbury Park, where we have a large community of all kinds of artists. And so then these areas start to come back and become beautiful. People start to take notice and visit to see all the changes and all the art and all the beauty that's coming to these blighted areas. Now,
And then,
now you knew where I was going with this, didn't you, Aunt Debbie? What starts to happen is society, and I mean the higher ups, I'm just going to say, the man, the machine, starts to see that people are taking notice to this particular area. And so now the money starts to come in and tries to push the very artists who brought the beauty to the neighborhood in the first place. They try to push them out and take it
well,
all
I
for
mean,
themselves.
and they don't have to try. They have the money, and so they
They
don't
have the
go,
money and
oh,
the
we want to
means.
push the artists out, because actually that's undermining the reason why they're drawn to it in the first place. But because
Right.
they have the bucks, they can
They
they
can
can they can compete for real estate, and
they
then
can.
the artists can no longer live there, and they have to move, and
Right,
they are.
but here's the point that I'm trying to make though. Here's the thing that I'm trying to say. Now, here's when art becomes protest. Because I've seen those very same artists start to use their art to protest what is taking place through music, through art, and all kinds of art forms. And that's another way that art shapes society through protest, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
even through sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to give the stigma of an artist because that starving artist thing has been something in a long time. I don't want nobody to feel like if they decide they're an artist in some way, shape, or form, that automatically they're gonna be broke. That's not the case. If you maneuver yourself correctly and you do the right thing by the art, oh, it could be very profitable. At one point as a DJ, I didn't even know I was making close to 90,000 a year DJ. What I mean, I didn't pay it because of the way it was coming in. It didn't seem like it. You know what I mean? But when you go back and look at, well, this I made this and I made this and I made this, I made that. I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? So it could be very profitable if it's done correctly. And this is the only job that I've had for the last 14, no, 11 years. It's the only job I've had. Well, besides the job I went to Atlanta for, but that was still in the artsy sort of thing because it was still DJing. But this is the only one, so I don't want people to feel like if they want to, like kids watch that might come across the show or whatever. Don't feel like you cannot be an artist. You can be an artist, and you don't have to be starving. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have to put your back into it and make some shit shake like when ain't nothing moving sometimes. But you don't have to be broke while you're doing it. It doesn't always
Yeah.
come to that.
Amen. That's very important to say because that again, even the idea that art is only valid or valuable if we're making
they're
money
making money.
minimizes the healing parts of reasons to do art and the way it's an integral to our life. If when you get up and you decide you're going to put a certain kind of curtain at your window, or in my
Mm-hmm.
case, you hang up light catchers and you put out your plants, you're being artistic. And so I love having this opportunity, one, to wholly agree with Boom and say the starving artist is a myth. First of all, everyone is an artist, and that certainly not everyone is starving. Um, there are nurses and doctors and lawyers who starve, I hear. So let's not limit it to being an artist. But the usefulness, the utility of arts is expressed in our homes, but it's also healing to do art and not just to think of it as a process and not as a product. Now, I do product art.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants to buy some art from me, I'll give you my address. You can come
That's
over and
right.
buy some art. But on the whole, I make art because it is my way of
Right.
communicating with myself. It is healing to me to do the process.
Right.
And
Right.
actually, the real art is the process. The product is often the excrement.
Right.
It's the byproduct. So doing the arts
All right.
is 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 powerful, and the audience
Yes.
who holds it can be influenced and by the art, which makes them collaborators in the art process.
Wow. Well said. Well said. Yeah. I mean, like I write songs. I write songs all the time, but I'm not doing it necessarily because I'm making a bunch of money. I do it because that's just part of who I am, and it's meaningful for me to be
Hmm.
able to exercise my art or
Hmm.
express my art or however you want to put it.
Hmm.
It means a whole lot to me for sure. So
Hmm.
even though I might not be beneficiating financially, I don't know who I would be if I didn't have that form of expression in my life. Honestly, I'm naturally. I like to think, and I think all three of us sitting here naturally are creative in some way, shape, or form, right?
Hmm.
Like booming,
Absolutely.
yeah, like you talked about
I
DJing,
create every day. Literally, I create every day. The
right?
people that I did the wedding for yesterday, I created a song for them. They didn't even know. I made a whole
Mm,
song for them and played it for their during their walk-in, and they heard their names in the song and all of that. And they like, wait a minute, exactly. I'm creating all of that.
Wow.
Well, DJing, just like any other art, has that ability to strike a chord within us, right? To move to move us emotionally.
And to move our bodies. It's very somatic. When the DJ is making music, or even live musicians as well, they are often stimulating the heartbeat, and that's what can make us dance and move, feel good, or it can also provide quiet and solace, a little change of scene. And so there's and speaking of the drum, that was the way that kidnapped Africans in America often communicate.
Communication,
There's a
absolutely.
meeting down at sundown, and the white folk are like, "Oh, ain't that nice?"
Ain't
Harriet
that nice?
Tubman.
Yeah.
They play colored music. Harriet Tubman actually walked to freedom by singing, and the white folks said, "Who's that?" "Oh, that's Harriet. She's just singing." So they disregarded her. So she used
Yes.
music walked her out of slavery. And the United States of America cannot, and the accomplishments, the architecture, the crafts, the music cannot be separated from the
Yeah,
from
no,
the kidnapped
no.
Africans who created it. We built America. In
Hallelujah to that. All
about
right.
America. We built it. We built it.
Yeah,
Our names are in it. We may not have gotten paid. The
right.
inventor of the cotton gin was not Eli Whitney. He wouldn't have cared. But the problem of picking cotton, or separating the cotton from the seeds,
Right.
that was invented by someone who said, "Oh, this is tedious. Let me invent something."
Right.
So the art of invention. So that kidnapped African, and came up with something. Who
Yes.
got the credit? Eli Whitney.
Yeah.
Democracy.
Yeah.
The concept of democracy is Native American, but that's taking us off the trail. So I'm that.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up black people and our history with song, because I thought it was just genius how Africans, our ancestors, used song to tell our history, the storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
in the songs that they would
Mm-hmm.
sing from generation to generation, told the story of the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a beautiful way of using art to keep things alive.
And they use quilts, which people
Quills,
associated
brilliant.
with just the grandmothers, little old ladies making stuff to signal to run
Wow.
away, to kidnap people who were taking responsibility for their own freedom, that this is a
Wow.
safe house. Don't come by here tonight. That was in the quilts.
The quilts.
So the quilts were methods of an artful
That
communication.
is interesting because my wife has a quilt
Hmm.
that I
Hmm.
think she said her grandmother made, that she still has wrapped up with. No
I
one's
want
allowed
to
to
see
touch
a
it, of
picture.
course. I would love to see it. She don't pull it out.
Hey, well, that's another. Terry, I'm gonna call you later. Pull that quilt out.
It must be beautiful. That's why if I it must be beautiful. But
It
that was a
certainly has soul. It certainly
it
has soul.
has.
And we don't want to also think that all art has to be beautiful either. That that sometimes art is
Yeah,
raw, and it can affect
yeah.
the emotions with its rawness as well.
Because that art can be subjective. Would you agree? I mean, to the
No,
person
it's
looking
not.
at it.
It's the soul of it, and we're
Right.
trained to say, "Oh well, it's beautiful." I don't give a crap who made it, who gets it.
That's
It
Aunt
is
Debbie talking.
beautiful. It's beautiful in its rawness. So I might create something raw, and you may say, "Oh, I don't like that," but maybe you can't get with it because maybe you it's not where you are in your life at this point. But art does not have to be beautiful.
It's
It
it's
just
it's
has
it's
to
just
be
that
honest. Honest.
Is this that beauty
Visual
in the
art
eye of the
artists.
beholder type thing?
No, not for me. Not
Not
for
for
me.
Aunt Debbie.
It
Everybody is
has
No,
beautiful
to
to Aunt
no, I
Debbie.
do.
know better.
It has to do with the honesty of the art. So the person who says, I wish I could sing, I'm going to lay my head on the train and I'm not going to suffer anymore. I mean, they're like singing about taking themselves out here, or it could be one of those gospel songs that were trying to tell people to steal away,
Still,
steal away to Jesus. I ain't got long to stay here. They weren't
that
necessarily talking about being on the planet. They're
they are
talking
not.
about they ain't got long to be on the plantation.
Plantation.
They getting up. So, that could sound, oh, they singing about death. Ugh. And really, they're singing about movement.
That's right. Because just the way society can affect art in as far as who gets funded and whatever, art has a way of moving society. Obviously, I mean, through protests. I mean, I can remember songs like "Self Destruction." You remember that hip hop song "Self Destruction"? They had it for self destruction that the '90s hip hop artists made to talk about the violence that was happening in communities back then. Fashion as an art, a way of protest. I can remember back in the '70s where women were protesting and they refused to wear bras. Do you remember that whole movement on Debbie? I remember that.
I'm going to send y'all my braless picture.
No, please don't. But you
Now,
remember?
well,
I've seen it.
yeah,
I've seen it already.
it didn't necessarily. A lot of that was false, saying that women were burning their bras. One of the reasons that a woman wears a bra is for the line that it gives her. So it's not bad to wear bras. And women actually, they never burn the bra. That's one of those things that you know.
No. It was a way I think of protesting.
No, it didn't
Uh,
happen.
no, it didn't. They didn't. Not that I know that they burned them, but it was a
Yeah,
movement in a
yeah.
sense.
Well,
That
for the younger women, we didn't have to wear bras, so I wouldn't be trying that now. But um, the real movement didn't have to do with not wearing bras, but it really did have to do with equality, and that
equality,
gave birth the
right,
equality of the human being, not this
right.
bra thing, and that gave rise to women artists who either wrote songs or did paintings or made quilts or wrote poetry and novels. Toni Morrison, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Through the voice of the woman, because we always heard life from the perspective of first the white man, then it was the black man, and then we got to hear the woman's
Now
voice.
I'm not a woman, but my thinking is that the idea was they wanted women to be seen as more than just housewives or something secondary to a man, and so
Yeah, but we don't want to say just housewives, because you know what? It takes a genius to run a home. So I
ah,
also don't
shout
want
out to the
to,
moms.
yeah, I don't want to minimize what it takes to run a home. One of the reasons why Aunt Debbie is Aunt Debbie and not Mother Debbie, she was like, I can't, I ain't cooking every night for children, or anybody or a husband. So we also want to raise the awareness that taking care of a home is holy work. And if you choose to do it, or you get to do it, you
Get to
are
do it.
displaying many arts and many talents in that home: decorating, cooking, teaching, clothing
To,
yourself and your children.
to me, the bottom line with art is what you were saying earlier. Even though I was playing around with the beauty side to be able to, uh, is to basically open your mind. If you look at something, you
Mm-hmm.
have, there's a picture in an art museum that's just to the unopened mind. It's just a blank canvas. There's nothing on there, but somebody else can walk up to it and see something amazing on it. So basically, just open. Folks need to just open their mind. Stop being one sided.
It
Stop
makes you
stop
think.
looking at it for what it is, and look at it for what it can be or what it might actually be. You know, because there is something on the canvas, you just don't see it. So now you got to start looking with your mind and not just with your eyes. And that's a lot of art. Even music, you can't see music. You know what I mean? You can't see the music. You can hear it, but you can't see it. You know what I mean? So if you got something that you don't like, I have songs that I don't like, and I think they're ugly. It's like I'm playing them tease out there, but I have
I'll
songs.
call you after the show.
I have songs that I genuinely I don't like them. I don't like that song. But one song in particular that a lot of people don't know is a gospel song is the one by Alicia Myers. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father. You know, that's a gospel song. You know, she's not talking about she met a physical man. She's talking about meeting Jesus and loving her. He loves her unconditionally. You know what I mean? So that's what she's talking about in that song. But for us to hear it, we party off of it because I still play it today as a DJ at parties, and people still turn up and they think that she's talking about a man. You know, she met a man, and if that's how you reference it that way. If that man or vice versa, that woman made you feel good in that way, keep saying, I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for shining your light on me. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's a gospel song. Alicia Myers is a gospel artist.
Well, I want to recognize all types of artists out there, and I would encourage everybody to celebrate, keep celebrating the artists in yourselves. How about that, everybody? How about that? I see the time ticking down, so I'm gonna start closing things down in a minute. Before I do, I'm just gonna and again, what Debbie and I already said, we could talk about this forever. This could be a whole nother show, everyone, and we will. We definitely could, and we will revisit this topic again. And I encourage you artists to join in the next show and put up your art. We would sure like to see what you're doing out there, right, guys?
Oh, I like
Absolutely.
that idea.
I love it. In fact, we should just take the time to display some more of our art. Maybe Boom a mix, or Debbie, you show some of your art, and I'll go through a song that I might have written. How about that next time?
Have our own show.
Sounds like a lot of fun, and we hope you all enjoy it.
Accept it.
I'm gonna start closing things out. Oh, Debbie, you got any last thoughts for everybody out there?
You know, I want to offer that every individual on the planet is an artist. We can't escape being an artist because we are wired biologically to symbolize, express, and curate art in our lives. So we are all artists, and there's power in the collective realizing their creative potential.
I'll second that. All right. How about you, Boom? Any last words for our audience today?
And Vogue said it best in one of their songs: "Free your mind, and the rest will follow." Don't be so blind. Don't be so shallow. You know what I mean? Point blank. Period. There it is.
All right, I like that. I think I just want to close today, everybody, and thanks everybody for watching. I just want to close the day by saying, art is the soul, structure is the framework, society is what we build between the two of them, everybody. I just want to say that. So I want to thank everybody again for watching the show. We sure appreciate it, right, guys?
Oh, yeah. We love meeting you in this field.
We absolutely do. We love giving a part of ourselves every Sunday to you guys. We sure hope that you enjoy it. And we look forward to you guys joining us next week. We hope that you're going to be there to comment on the show. Keep being part of the audience, everybody. We want to get those numbers up. Before we go, I just want to shout out, again, if you're looking for something, ladies, out there to wear today, you can find it at terryscloset.com. Be sure to pay us a visit. If you want to know what's going on in the Shaheem world, including my latest music and videos, go visit therealshaheem.com. Check out my son on Otaku, everything at Anime Cannibal on YouTube. Check out on Debbie at Vision Carriers and Boom at Boom Squad DJs. And let's blow this thing up, right, guys? All right, we'll see you all next week for another great episode of From the Shore to Be More. Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. We'll see you next week.
Happy Mother's Day, ladies. Happy Mother's Day.